Are you gonna intro the show, man, or what? Come on.
Think of something cool.
Clock's ticking.
Think of something cool and funny to say.
Oh.
I'm spending the night, Jacob. Don't worry about it. Welcome to another episode of The Erase Cards. Well, today we talk about pudding and shouldn't.
Mm-hmm. Pill her pages, time to talk some pill her pages. Dr. Cosby, why?
Why, Bill? Why?
Of course, that's how he got the pills, right?
You talking about
From his medical practice?
on the Cosby Show? Maybe.
No, he's Dr. Cosby in real life, isn't he, Dr. Cosby?
Yeah, but he's a PhD. So unless
So
he's
he doesn't
prescribing
give people
no,
pills?
not unless he's prescribing books. Book upside the head. I said a book upside the head. This is what's so sad about it. Bill Cosby has an ill fucking story.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Bill Cosby was a stand-up from Philly, a stand-up comic from Philly that was traveling in New York's Greenwich Village during the 60s or whatever, while he was in school after he got out of the Navy.
Okay.
So he was, going to school, going to Temple University, on a GI Bill, doing stand-up. That took off, did his thing, went back to school, got his bachelor's, then eventually went back to school and got all that other shit that he got.
Yeah, well, he was pretending to be everybody's TV dad. Actually, pretending nothing. Well, he was everybody's TV
Man,
dad.
Bill Cosby was the shit.
He had a side gig as everybody's favorite off-camera rapist.
Allegedly.
Allegedly off-camera rapist. Some of them might have been on camera, we're not sure.
It's a lot of women. I mean, it's like
A lot of.
2 more came out like a week ago.
No.
And this is what? August 31st, August 31st, 2015.
So 35, 36, 37, we start to see a trend around the 30th person that you sexually assault.
Let me ask you this, though. What do you think this does culturally for his legacy? So you had A Different World, you had I Spy, you had The Cosby Show, Fat Albert, Lil Bill.
I think from now on, anything with his face on it is a hard sell. I don't remember him specifically being in A Different World. Was he a producer? And there are a lot of things he produced, and that's another thing that's really cool about Dr. Cosby is after he got money, he invested in other black artists' projects, and some of those old blaxploitation movies were produced by Bill Cosby. I don't think Melvin's movie goes anywhere. I don't think anybody's going to be like, ooh, this is the... But I mean, it'd be a lot harder to sit your kids down in front of picture pages.
And The Cosby Show. That was such good fucking content.
Was it?
It was good content.
I remember liking it when I was like small and I didn't understand things, and then when I was older, because it was on for a long time. I was gonna say around 91, I remember that being the year where I was like, is this funny? Because like, it's all like, Theo got his ear pierced, oh no, this is, and it's like, so he's gay? Is that what we're upset about?
Let me tell you what made The Cosby Show so relevant and such a historical show. You gotta understand something. The Huxtables lived in Brooklyn in a lovely brownstone that costs a lot of money, even back then.
And to afford that, they would have had to have been doctors, lawyers.
This happened during the crack era. And so to have this man come out and say, you know what? I can be the example of what Black America should be looked at as. Hardworking, familial people that just want the best thing for their kids and themselves. That's what made it so relevant. I heard a comedian make a really good point, J.B. Smooth. He said, what Bill Cosby has given can never be taken back. You can't unfeel the things you felt.
You can't un-ghost dad. Once you've ghost dadded.
You cannot un-ghost that. You can't hey. What would that be? Yee. Come on, it doesn't.
Once you've Leonard Sixth, you've been sixth, man.
You've been sixth.
Bill Cosby sixth you.
So, I mean...
You didn't even know it was going to happen.
That was cold.
It was.
What he's given to the culture could never be taken away, but it'll never, ever have the same relevance.
It wasn't going to anyway.
A Different World, all that stuff, and now it's just like shmush. And I don't understand why. But then you can't understand...
Oh, you didn't hear it? He gave pills to a whole bunch of chicks and they passed out, and then while they were sleeping, sex with them. Like he raped a bunch of chicks. That's why.
I can't understand why he would do that.
Oh yeah, that part is crazy.
I mean, look at Jared Fogle.
What the shit, Jared? I looked up to you, you son of a bitch. I fucking ate sandwiches and ate sandwiches and ate sandwiches and lost weight, and I look better and I feel better.
Bill Cosby's not in jail because he came up in a time where it was really that patriarchal Hollywood casting couch.
So, okay, they didn't charge him back then, but all these ladies have come out now, and I haven't heard anything about any kind of trial that's
Oh
going
no,
on.
he has to go do a deposition. He was a great artist, man. Great black artist. Great humorist.
And apparently really good at raping people. Like, he did a lot. Like, that's a lot. 37's a lot. You remember Clerks?
I remember Clerks.
There was much ado about sucking 36 dicks. Like, that's a high number. Like, 37?
Yeah, man, let's talk about Hulk Hogan.
Everyone from the 80s apparently was all fucked up. Something in the cocaine back then.
I used to tell my sisters, look, I'm going to fall asleep, but when Hulk Hogan and WWF comes on, because it wasn't WWE back then, it was WWF back in the 80s, when that shit comes on, you wake me up. And I'd have my Hogan shirt on, and I'd wait for him to come out, and I'd do the rip the same time he did it, because I was such a Hulkamaniac and shit. And this motherfucker's calling me a jigaboo.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think if anybody else from the 80s fucked up.
A lot of these motherfuckers fucked up.
Dolph or
No.
Sly. Sly's not racist, I don't think. Is Arnold racist? Arnold's not racist.
Arnold has a Mexican kid. I mean, he was raw dogging the hell.
Yeah. Oh, that kid looks bad. Oh, that's a bad-looking kid. I feel really bad for that Mexican. Have you seen pictures of the...
He looks like a little short Mexican Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's all right.
I know, and it's not a good look. All right, that was another episode of the Race Cards. We talked about rape and racism and all sorts of fun stuff.
And all our 80s heroes that let us down.
Fuckers. So, Instagram, we have them. You should go check them out. Subscribe to the channel, please.
Subscribe to my channel as well.
Subscribe to all the channels that you watch and like all the videos that you watch because this non-interaction thing's got to go. But have an awesome week, and we will see you sometime in the foreseeable future.
I can go back to my life in Squaresville anytime, baby.
I thought we gave to see forever, but forever was drunk away.
Does this song have a melody when like the person who wrote it sings it? Does it have like go up and down with the notes of the scale with the